he yields to whatever the judge's direction is, or his obligation to the Bar Association. Now, the Bar Association in itself is a whole other construct. You know, you have local Bar Association, multiple constructs. You have local city, county, state, etc. But if you go to a website, it's called ordotempli.org, you'll find out that all bar associations hail from the Temple Bar, which is directed at the Inns of Court, that has a direct affiliation to the Ordo Templar Militaris, which is a Knights Templar organization. And that contract, that covenant to direct all bar associations on the planet is issued through what's called a letters patent. And you guys can look up that term later. But it's a contract that's set up based on the Knights Templar. Who are those guys? Those guys are the guys that founded what's known today as our modern banking system. So, in any regard, with respect to the court, if you hire an attorney, you're called a ward of the court. You ever hear that? As an operation of law, if you hire an attorney, you're considered a ward of the court. But if you look up the definition of ward of the court, it's infants or persons of unsound mind. So how many of you guys hired an attorney and said, geez, what an idiot I was, get this guy? So if your attorney was an officer of the court and his first duty was the judge and he's given him the secret handshake or the little sign, a little lapel pin shake, whatever the deal was with the judge, based on his payout or whatever the situation may have been, if you're convicted as a result of his lack of performance or conspiracy, you're going to prison or jail where you'd be placed in a cell. Okay? A cell. A cell. But however, again, remember the concept. The whole court system, our whole monetary system, is based on ancient esoteric principles. Your body's energy. It's a vessel. Your body's a vessel. You have blood vessels, etc. And you're traveling on the seas of commerce. Not really, because we're on land, but they superimpose the world of admiralty on us. And anyone can verify this because the Navy has surveyed all the land in the continental United States. And there's brass cap high water marks in all the local towns and counties. So they've, in a let's pretend game, they said we're underwater right now. That's why they have jurisdiction of admiralty. And it's, unless you rebut that presumption of jurisdiction or the admiralty realm, it shall reign supreme. But if you might have the opportunity to pay bail. You ever heard paying bail? Okay, you might have the opportunity to pay bail if you've been placed in jail. Okay, bail. Okay, bail or bail. To bail someone out is to provide cash and get them out of prison, or more generally to help them out of a difficult situation. Well, I think going to court, period, it can be a difficult situation, especially nowadays. Especially a financial one, and we'll just go on from here. But after you pay bail, the court has concluded its sale on the high seas of commerce. You see where the etymology is going? It's just, we're dealing in admiralty, ancient Phoenician commercial law, as Jordan said. But everything you said and done, when everything's said and done in court, and you've discharged all your debts, you've paid your debt to society. How many of you heard that? Because everything is commerce, period. One of the first definitions of commerce is the exchange of ideas, concepts, philosophies, interaction, goods and services, etc. And then one of the other definitions of commerce is sexual relations. And I'm not kidding. So the byproduct of that is a commercial product where, again, you get the paper certificate and you play the let's pretend game. So ultimately, which is it? Are we talking business here or are we talking justice? And as Jordan would say, it's nothing personal, it's just business, like the mob says. So now we're going to get or progress further to a solution-oriented situation over here, because most people, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out that the system is not based on natural principles. It's not based on a win-win situation, that there's harmony in the universe and everyone goes home and they have enough money in their pocket, etc. But where does all the money go? Marvin Breyer, and that's a man that found out. Marvin Breyer is an I don't want to say Bank of America employee, but he worked for one of their subsidiaries, and he's a COBOL programmer. And he's the guy that designed the foundational computer systems, or the code that transfers all money and et cetera, and balances the books at the end of each day. Well, Marvin, unfortunately, had a very rough situation where his daughter, her child was about to be stolen from the Department of Social Services or one of those particular agencies. And Marvin could not stand the pain to see that happen to his daughter, because his daughter in his life is everything to him. She's the capstone on his life's pyramid. Anything and everything for his daughter. So what Marvin did is he did a little homework. He tracked the money that was being raised from the court, and where all the funds and all the money that he was paying into the court system for fines or just court docket filings, all going into slush funds, guys, without exception. Marvin, by the way, has been in Insight Magazine about 6 times. He's been in the LA Times. If you just type in Marvin Breyer on the internet, you'll see tons and tons of articles on him. And he's a personal associate of mine, and I've been fortunate enough to get in with him to understand how he does what he does, how to crack the matrix, how to break through and understand how to get to these guys where it hurts, the money. So if you track the funds that are paid to the court, without exception, at least we haven't found one. And certainly we wouldn't be arrogant enough to say that it's not entirely possible that it might go to the proper directory where the funds are supposed to be appropriated. But the funds are going into different accounts as opposed to where they're mandated by legislature. Instead, they go into private accounts associated with the Judges Association. However, it's really interesting about what the Judges Associations are. And you can look at any court system in America. Namely, we like to particularly look at Los Angeles because a lot of us originally from there, done a lot of investigation over there. But the Judges Association, if you talk to them, try to find out who they are, they're allegedly a tax-exempt organization. However, they're not registered at all with the IRS. Period. They fall under a 508 category. And I'm not a super huge tax guru, so I'm not going to get into the codifications. However, the IRS turns a complete blind eye to the fact that they haven't properly registered, but they're amassing tons of these funds. Okay? So, but you'll find out why. You go to tax court, or you go to court based on willful failure to file, or you're not paying your fair share, etc. Why you bring in proper legal arguments or issues as a matter of law, and they throw you into the wood chipper. Why? Because they're all working in harmony together, in concert. Okay, so the Judges Association, what do these guys do?